Hello, everyone. Good evening. It is. I almost said it was Monday. It's Tuesday. Tuesday, the 5th, May 5th. We're heading into the summer here. And before we even get started talking, we have to go down the rabbit hole. That is the cruise ship that's literally stuck in the ocean right now because of a deadly disease known as the hantavirus. And it's quite concerning. I'm going to discuss a little bit about why just here in a second. But you have 150 people on board. Multiple people have died already. A rare virus most people haven't heard of typically comes from rodents like mice. And these countries are refusing to let them dock. They're just basically sitting there off the coast of Africa. They're trapped, right, in this like floating petri dish, essentially, while the WHO and governments argue over what do we do? What do we do with these people? It's kind of scary because although the WHO is saying like, hey, don't panic right now, I'm going to tell you right now, this absolutely could turn into a major problem. There's absolutely no doubt about it. I mean, I don't know what you would do in this circumstance, but I just read something deeply disturbing about some experts and some people saying they think there was some human to human transfer. Which is super scary, like super scary. I don't want to get like scare people, but obviously, you know, that's pretty terrifying information. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with this or not. Started in Argentina, I guess. Some of the people were sharing cabins. They were in sustained close contact. There's no evidence of any rodents aboard, which is kind of weird because that's typically where they would come from. And the WHO basically said we can't rule out that some human-to-human transmission has taken place here, which is horrifying. It's not, obviously not COVID style, or at least that's what they're saying. But if human-to-human spread is happening, I mean, that could turn into a major freaking problem. No doubt about it. And here's the other issue, right? We're talking about an incompetent administration. We're talking about an administration that's defunded and dismantled and disconnected from these organizations and these agencies that are dedicated to trying to deal with these issues. Exactly, Sarah. That's what makes it more terrifying. If we had competent adults in power, I wouldn't be nearly as worried about it. But man, I just did some research on it. It's pretty surface level, but about an hour and a half, 2 hours of straight research on it, and I can tell you it's a problem. It's a major problem. I don't know what they're going to do with those people. I guess just keep them in the... I mean, they can't dock. You can't dock. I mean, that's all there is to it. You couldn't pay me to go on a cruise at this point. Dude, I was just thinking about that. Dude, I have this, like, inner desire to go on a cruise because the idea seems fun. But whenever I talk to people about it, they're like, don't do that. They're like, do not do that. You would not like it. And I'm also like somebody who kind of gets annoyed with like large crowds of people. Like, I find human beings to be very inconsiderate in situations like that, and it annoys the fuck out of me, and I'll just end up like hating it. But the idea of being on a ship, like if you went on a really big one, seems like it could be fun. But the disgust, think about how disgusting that is. All those humans trapped in one. No, hell no. You can't escape the disgusting part of it. So, no. That's the one thing that keeps me from it. And listen, I'm a fisherman. I like fishing. I like going on party boats, and I like going on boats and fishing and deep sea fishing. Been many, many times. Not interested in going on a cruise because of that bacteria, because of the bacteria and the germs and the diseases. So we're talking about the hantavirus is what we're talking about. If you didn't know, there's a ship, a cruise ship essentially that's stuck in the ocean right now because it has a deadly disease aboard, and it's not supposed to have human-to-human transmission. It's supposed to come directly from mouse droppings or urine, but you have 150 people on board and they can't find any evidence of rodents. Multiple people have died. And it's turning into a situation that they really don't know what to do with. And now the WHO is basically saying we can't rule out human-to-human transmission. So, yeah. Pretty concerning. Nope, it's pronounced exactly like I pronounced it. I guess you don't have nothing to say, Joe. No. All right, let me pull up the phones here. We'll get into the politics and all that. Why do I smell like burning smell? It's probably my computer. Oh, what do we have here? The United States will pause the effort to guide ships through the Strait of Hormuz. The Secretary Rubio said the U.S. military operation launched in February was over, suggested the U.S. priority was now reopening the critical waterway. President Donald Trump said the United States will pause Project Freedom, a naval effort aimed at guiding commercial vessels through the Strait of Hormuz, to see whether a deal with Iran can be finalized. Just hours earlier, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said Operation Epic Fury, launched in February against Iran, has ended, and the U.S. was focused on Operation Freedom. Really, it's ended.
Call from.
All right, let's get into this. Are you a Trump supporter?
Trump Twitch Wing.
Why do these little kids call? It's so annoying, dude. So Marco Rubio is saying the war is over? You mean you've given up? Have they given up? Anna, thank you so much, Anna. Wait a second. Marco Rubio is saying the war is over. Here we go. Let's take a listen really quick. We got to take a listen to this before we take another imbecile.
The Secretary of State briefed reporters certainly on his own.
Anna, thank you so much for contributing to the goal, Anna.
Current White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt is on maternity leave. So Secretary Rubio basically gave an update on where we are. He said Operation Epic Fury
Sarah,
is over. He made that very clear.
He's saying they're saying that the Operation Epic Fury is over and now it's strictly about clearing the waterway. Oh my God. That means they've given up. Let's take a listen here.
So Secretary Rubio basically gave an update on where we are. He said Operation Epic Fury is over. He made that very clear, that the current stage of the operation now is handling the Strait of Hormuz as well as ongoing negotiations. Rubio tried to make it really clear that as we are...
I love how Trump supporters call people stupid. They're literally the dumbest people on earth.
Hearing reports, and as the administration even is confirming fire in the Strait of Hormuz and in the Persian Gulf region.
All right, we don't want to hear your fucking interpretation of it. We want to hear what he fucking said.
The operation is over. Epic Fury, as the president notified Congress, we're done with that stage of it. Okay, we're now on to this Project of Freedom. The operation, Epic Fury, is concluded. We achieved the objectives of that operation. I'm not going to, we're not cheering for an additional situation to occur. We would prefer the path of peace. What the president would prefer is a deal. He would prefer to sit down, work out a...
That doesn't restart the war clock. What you mean? What they're trying to do is say that the hours don't count towards the new operation. So that's likely what they're doing. It doesn't restart it. What they're trying to say is that it doesn't count, as this is not counted towards the war clock. So they have. That's not how this works. These people are fucking. That's not how this works. You can't take different missions within the same conflict and divide how much time is spent in each You can't eliminate the time on the clock because you're working within a different mission in the same conflict. This is just stupid. Oh my God.
Memorandum of Understanding for future negotiations that touches on all the key topics that have to be addressed, a full opening of the strait so the world can get back to normal. He preferred that be negotiated.
Marco, no. So all Iran has to do is then spark more of a... All Iran has to do now, militarily, is try and spark or reignite military conflict in Tehran. This is weird, man. These guys are such manipulators. Are you a Trump supporter? Hey, watch what I'm about to do. Here, I'm just going to take this real quick. You were stupid enough to do this, so I'm going to be stupid enough to do this for you. Watch this, bro. How much you want to bet this dude never calls again? It's literally not like it's literally some loser on the internet, and they're about to fuck around and find out. They must not know I welcome these opportunities. Especially for Bartlesville. Especially for Bartlesville. This is going to be fucking fun. I should seriously do that. I should seriously call their mom sometimes. But that unfortunately is a person old enough to know better. So if he doesn't go to Congress, he's got to stop by 30 days and the clock is ticking. 60. The clock is already done. So the clock was supposed to be technically done on May 1st. What they argued is that the ceasefire days don't count towards the war. Now they're claiming that this is a different conflict and has nothing to do with Operation Epic Fury. That's not how this works. They're just doing everything they can to not go to Congress. And they're never going to go to Congress because they don't care. They don't give a fuck. Lees, thank you so much. Can we survive this regime? I don't know. Potentially not. Potentially not. It's going to depend on what happens come the midterms. I've always said this the entire time, right? Whether or not we are able to make it through this whole thing is going to be entirely dependent on what happens during the midterms. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. If you are a Trump supporter, you can call in 908-652-3703. Gas prices should go down now that it's over, right? Nope, Don. Gas prices won't go down. See, this is the whole thing. Nothing really will change in terms of for American citizens because the Strait of Hormuz they're still having issues with the Strait of Hormuz. Operation or Project Freedom is now, they're claiming, their only focus, obviously to clear the waterway. Are you a Trump supporter? Are you a Trump supporter, troglodyte?
Would you rather sit on a cake and eat a cock?
Oh, God. These guys they live in such a glass house. Like, you live in such a glass house. I should paste that. I should take that recording and just play it for your job. on repeat. I should just play it on repeat for your job, if you have one. Sitting on the internet like a goof, calling me, bothering me. Hey, I'm about to drop your number on Reddit. Good luck. Have fun. Take care. Don't cry to me later. Consequences are consequences. Consequences are consequences. Yeah, you guys won't survive that. What honestly is the best can happen. The U.S. system is completely outdated and can only be fixed by building it new from scratch. It's capitalism, my friend. It's capitalism is the system. We are experiencing what you're seeing largely is end stage capitalism. That's mostly what you're witnessing right now. Mickey 6, thank you for W Mickey 6 becoming a mastermind of Muppetry. Mickey 6, let's go, Mickey 6. How old are you? Why'd you hang up, bro? I want to talk. Call me and then hang up on me? I want to chat. How old are you? We're chatting. Whether you called me, we're chatting. Hello, how old are you?
Hey, I totally.
God, it's a little kid. I swear to God, man. Little kids, go find something better to do, please. For the love of God, go find something better to do. I'm going to start calling your mothers. I don't want to have to do that, but I'm going to start doing it. Yeah, take this one here. Yeah, do it with that one. The 916. Humble that dude. That's what I want you to work on, okay? That 916. Humble that dude. Dude needs a humbling. And occasionally they do, you know? Occasionally they do. So here's Marco Rubio. Let's play this one more time. This is an update on the war here.
The operation is over. Epic Fury, as the president notified Congress, we're done with that stage of it. Okay, we're now on to this project of freedom. The operation, Epic Fury, is concluded. We achieved the objectives of that operation. I'm not going to, we're not cheering for an additional situation to occur. We would prefer the path of peace. What the president would prefer is a deal. He would prefer to sit down, work out a memorandum of understanding for future negotiations that touches on all the key topics that have to be addressed.
I don't know, Kyle. I wouldn't fuck with me, though. That would be your best bet, Kyle. I wouldn't mess with me, bro. I wouldn't mess with me. Kyle the God Rittenhouse. You should ask around. You should ask around. Consequences, they tend to happen in life. That would be, my best bet would be not to fuck around, because the find out portion tends to come. Renee, thank you so much. Spend half my day working in primary poll and the other half drinking margaritas for Cinco. Let's go. Let's go. W in the chat. Bro, dude's name was Kyle the God Rittenhouse. You know he's like fucking a complete loser with that name. What a complete goof. And he's worried now, so now he's in the chat crying. You should be. I would be. I would be. How can people listen to Rubio and say he's the next president? Neely, I think it's because he's all they got. Republicans don't really have much of a an option. They don't have much of it. The one thing about Democrats is, and obviously it's a little bit different because we're far more critical, right? But the one thing about Democrats is they have an incredibly large bullpen. Incredibly large bullpen. The only people who don't have many options outside of Donald Trump are Republicans. Republicans don't have much of a bullpen. It consists of Marco Rubio and JD Vance. That's pretty much what it consists of. And honestly, both of them have ruined their chances because of this war. Both of them have destroyed their chances because of this war. Yes, I just saw it, Dory. I can't even believe that they're trying to sell that Operation Epic Fury is over. And now they're just focusing on Project Freedom. And these are two different things. I can't believe this shit. I really can't. Let's see if he expands on this. Let's see if he expands on this slightly here. This is huge fucking news, dude.
It's come for Iran to make a sensible choice. And it's not easy for them to do that, obviously, because they have a fracture in their own leadership system. And apart from that, I mean, the top people in that government are, to say the least, they're insane in the brain.
Bro, I just want to say really quick, guys, in case you don't know.
Well, here's my...
Bro, is that you, Randall? Oh my God, dude.
The operation is over. Epic Fury, as the president notified Congress, we're done with that stage of it. Okay, we're now on to this Project of Freedom. As far as a negotiation is concerned, I think the president's been clear that part of the negotiation process has to be not just the enrichment, but what happens to this material that's buried deep somewhere that they still have access to if they ever wanted to dig it out. That has to be addressed. This is not an offensive operation. This is a defensive operation. And what that means is very simple. There's no shooting unless we're shot at first.
A defensive operation? You invaded another country? This is insane. I can't believe these guys are trying to sell this. Bertie, thank you so much for the Canadian $2. Appreciate you. I can't believe they're actually trying to sell this, dude. Like, this is fucking insane. This is a defensive operation. What are you talking about? All of it's offensive. You're in someone else's country. Jesus Christ. This is insane. Absolutely insane.
Okay, we're not attacking them. We're not. But if they're
You did already.
attacking us, so they're attacking a ship, you need to respond to that. You're not going to let some fast boat come up on a ship. And
So basically, let me explain how this is going down. This is the perspective of the United States. And by the way, once your eyes are open to this, it infuriates you. The United States attacked another country. That country's retaliatory response was to choke the Strait of Hormuz. And the United States said, no, you can't retaliate that way. You have to retaliate the way we say you can retaliate. That's basically what's happening here. And now they're saying, you can't shoot at us or shoot at any kind of cargo ships passing through or any U.S. naval ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Because that's unfair. You invaded another country. You killed their leaders. Did they I mean, honestly, like, the bootlickers that support this are everything wrong with this country, and that's why the government continuously gets away with this type of shit. Because these bootlickers just support it. It's despicable. Absolutely despicable. Jeez. Can't make this shit up. You really cannot make this shit up. So this guy yesterday, Brendan, if you remember late in the chat last night, this guy Brendan wanted to debate me, right? He's like, I'm a master debater. he was, I guess when I was getting off, he's like, I'm going to debate you, blah, blah, blah. Sent me like a bunch of messages. Like, it must have sent me 60 messages. So, Brendan, when you're ready, Brendan, make yourself known, Brendan. This guy says, God bless Donald Trump. He gave his COVID-19. What? I'm not sure what that means there, user LE4. Dude, if the election is Newsom Vance, I'm literally fucking moving. If it's Newsom or Vance, I'm fucking moving. All right? You're on your own. Not literally, but was it? I think it might have been Brennan, dude. I don't know if it was Brendan or Brennan. I don't know. Who's the zoo? Call in then. Call in then, Muppet. Don't say you're ready, just call in. That's all you gotta do. The Slick Ghost. Is that your gaming name? Oh, honey, is that your gaming tag? Is that what they call you in Fortnite? Listen, if I identify that you have a Fortnite accent, I'm gonna immediately hang up on you, so. No Fortnite accents allowed. Why don't you call in, Dargo Connell? You keep spamming. You want to have a conversation about the Epstein files? You want to have a conversation about the Epstein files? Call in. Vince, I'm not even kidding. You kind of actually resemble that person, though. I'm not even kidding. Clicked your profile. At that point, we would have to vote for Newsom, right, Adam? Unfortunately. It was nice of the president-elect Rubio to give a presser today. You think he's going to be the president-elect? Not if J.D. Vance has anything to say about it. And by the way, I think J.D. Vance would do just about anything to become president of the United States. I think J.D. Vance would be the kind of candidate to release stories about Marco and Donald Trump having an intimate relationship in the Oval Office, and he walked in on it. I'm not even kidding. J.D. Vance is that type of guy. Dargo is obsessed with spamming about Epstein, but won't call the phone number to talk about Epstein, which is super fucking weird. Come on, dude. Let's hear it. Laura, thank you so much, Laura. Yeah, we just blocked the IP address. Trump fell asleep in front of those kids today. They had to be traumatized. Dude, that was creepy as hell. Wasn't it? That was creepy as hell, wasn't it? Newsom is a good talker, so debates would be fun. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't want Newsom, though. I'm not interested in Gavin Newsom. I'm not interested in President Gavin Newsom. Fuck out of here. Dargo, you haven't even called in. You're a crybaby. Right? It's that easy. Watch. Boom. Uh-oh, you can't type anymore. That was so much work. Oh, my God. Go make another account. You're really hurting me. It takes all of 2 seconds to reach over and permanently mute your channel. Dargo thinks he's owning me because he's making fake accounts. Like, you're owning me, dude. You're totally owning me, bro. You're owning me, man. Trump falls asleep just about every public event. Anytime he's speaking, anytime he's in the Oval Office. Birdie, thank you for the 10 joules. Appreciate it. Guys, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and contribute to the gifting goal. It helps push us into the algorithm. Jeez, we have some crybabies in the chat. So this guy says, you're wrong, by the way. Still talking about Epstein spelled wrong. That's a non-issue. There's no dirt on Trump. That's not true, the Watcher America. Call in right now and we'll discuss it. That is not a non-issue. Donald Trump, absolutely there is dirt on Donald Trump. If you'd like to talk about it, we can go over it. And yeah, but other than that, you're wrong. You're not even spelling Epstein's name correctly. Do you think I believe that you have any idea what's going on in that case? Like, let's establish first and foremost that the Department of Justice is actively obstructing justice. Pritzker is kind of progressive. Pritzker is kind of progressive, but the problem is that he's a billionaire, so a lot of people are going to be skeptical of him. But Pritzker's done some good things. No, Julian, we don't like the president, okay? If you look around at all of the people you know and ask them how their finances are the last 6 months, and almost everyone says the same thing, they are struggling more than before this cabinet. Yes. There's a legitimate affordability crisis. There's no doubt about it. Samby, thank you so much. English is Maga's second language. What's the first one? Troglodyte? Renee, thank you so much. Birdie, appreciate you. Yeah, Pritzker's done some good things, yes. I just want this Trump supporter to call in. He keeps bragging about this, but he doesn't call in. Not sure why. He just keeps crying and crying and crying, but not calling. He keeps talking about the Epstein files, but not calling. It's not going to be Pritzker. I can guarantee you. You know who I hear and actually heard from someone who has some pretty strong connections in Congress and is friendly with Cory Booker, that Cory Booker is legitimately considering a presidential run. So look out for Cory Booker. He's definitely going to give it a shot. And listen, Cory, when he speaks, sounds good. The problem is, he's a fraud. He's a complete fraud. He doesn't stand for anything. He doesn't have a backbone when it counts. And, you know, I just don't respect people that don't stand up for children. So, this is not going to happen. It ain't easy being fish. If you guys would just stop interfering with, like, you know, MAGA's ability to mow the lawn, we wouldn't have this problem. Are you a Trump supporter? How old are you?
I'm 23.
What's up? We're talking about this situation in Iran.
So, are we doing a debate, or are we just going off of our feelings? Because if this is a debate, don't run from what I'm about to say.
Bro, shut the fuck up and say what you're going to say, you clown.
Wow, that's so facetious.
No one's running, you goof.
Yeah, you're going to run from after I present my argument. Are you ready?
Cool. What's your argument?
Yeah, so P1 is we don't have a causal obligation to illegals. P2, in of itself, with them infringing upon negative rights.
What is
to private property.
P2?
Premise 2? Do you understand this?
Are you stupid? We're not talking about immigration right now. We're talking about the war in Iran. Do you want to talk about the war in Iran? That's the news.
Yeah,
this guy thinks he's just going to... Premise 2?
Yeah, so I got you. I'll give you a P1.
Causal obligation. You're an idiot.
Yeah, I got you.
What's the... All right, watch. I'll debate you on immigration. Ready? What's the fiscal burden of undocumented immigrants?
Wait, that's not a part of my argument. You're trying to assert something to be the case.
Guys, stop the pseudo-intellectualism. It doesn't work with me.
You're asserting something to be part of my argument. At no point did I mention.
No, but your argument is whether or not we have... Can I speak?
So then don't assert something to be the case.
I'm not asserting anything. I'm asking you a question. right? When I look at undocumented,
That question part of my premises.
your premises. Listen,
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna try and not embarrass you. Let's just have a conversation, okay? Do you support the war in Iran?
Yes, I do.
Okay, why?
Why? Based off of the situation that took place in 2023 October, to be very precise.
The what took place?
In October of 2023, when we had Joe Biden in office, our bases in Iraq
Why
got
are you
hit by
yelling?
the IRI.
Listen,
I'm not
calm
yelling.
down. What is
I'm
the
not yelling.
administration? You're working yourself up. You got yourself all worked up to talk
Can
to
you
me.
prove that
now
real quick?
You've got to calm down. Listen, this isn't doing anything. You're not either. It doesn't matter what you do. You're going to lose. So please just calm
We're gonna
down.
lose?
Let's have a
Wait, hold
conversation.
up.
Let's have
That's
a
a false statement, but okay.
It is, because I've been doing this for a long time. How many pseudo-intellectuals do you think I talk to? How many debate bros do you think I fucking destroy on a daily basis?
Probably zero. I'm going to guess that you engage with people that don't know how to debate properly. Me, on the other hand, I've debated
You don't
Destiny,
debate
Parker,
either.
Dean.
Wow,
Yes, I do.
Parker and Dean. Wow, amazing.
Destiny too, Hassan, and a few other people.
Bro just literally said I debated Parker and Dean. Listen,
And
what
Destiny.
is I don't care.
You said
I'm gonna hang up on you if you don't shut the fuck up.
Whoa.
So
You
what
might
is
need to
the
put it off.
administration's primary objective of the war?
The war? I would just say conflict, not war. But even with the situation taking place,
It's a war.
there's a couple factors. We could destabilize their economy in of itself. We could unalive their head leaders, which we've already done that multiple times. There's multiple actions that we can go about.
Actions that we can go about. So listen, buddy. So first of all, I'm asking you what is. So let's start with what you first said. It's not a war. Your president is calling it a war. Everyone in the
That
administration.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't. So what makes it not a war?
Yeah, the only way we can determine something to be the war in this case is going to be if Congress agrees that this is going to be a war.
Okay.
This is going to count as an armed conflict.
Wow. And so when is the last time Congress declared war?
World War II.
Okay. And so was the global war on terror a war? Was the Vietnam War a war?
Yeah, I'm just going to use the argument that this is semantics, and that's not going to be
It's
entailing to the details.
What
It
you're
is.
doing is semantics by saying it's not a war. It absolutely is a war. Whether or not
Based off of whose
Congress officially declares it a war, we haven't had an official declaration of war since World War II, so that wouldn't matter. I'm asking you, what is the primary objective of this conflict according to the administration? I don't know what you mean. You're talking about we can attack their economy. I don't know what that means. What is
Yeah,
the
we can actively
administration-
destabilize their economy based off of multiple factors.
Somebody in the chat said Hassan doesn't do debates. Yeah, I don't think he.
Yes, he does. If you go to in college,
I've literally
do debates.
never seen Hassan debate. I don't even think
yeah,
he's a
you
debater.
can.
But listen,
Yeah, you can pull up
listen,
Hassan
you're-
going into colleges and debates. He does debate.
Wow, that's profound. I mean, listen. So anyway, can you tell me really quick? I'm asking you, what is the administration saying the reason we're there? What's the primary objective of the conflict?
Yeah, I don't care what the reason is there. Why
You
we're there
don't
based off
care
their
what
preference.
the reason is?
Based off of their preference, I have my own preference in question.
No, you don't get to argue your objective because you are not a part of
It
this
wouldn't be
administration.
objective. It would be a preference in of itself. It would be their preference too. Do you understand how words work?
This guy can't be serious.
You said objective. Objective means it would be the case without a human state of mind. Sorry to tell you, you don't know how words work.
What did you say? I'm saying
Objective.
Wait, what did you just say? Wait, say that again.
Objective. Yeah, so objective is going to be the case without a human state of mind present. So you made the case
This is
that
not a
what
real
is our-
human being. This can't be a real human being.
It is.
I'm asking you, like in a war, right? An administration, a government has primary objectives, things they want to achieve.
Oh, thank you for being more precise with your words. Yeah, I would just say it's going to be based off the preference that the individuals in question have.
What the fuck is he talking about? Listen, the administration has a specific reason that they're in Iran. What is the reason?
Yeah, they have their preferences of why they do this. I have my own preference why I subscribe to this.
The chat is literally, guys, I'm sorry. This is what, like, unfortunately, this is pseudo-intellectualism. This is what this is. So basically, I'll answer.
Can you define it real quick?
I'll answer. Yes, you're a fake intellectual. So can I?
Okay, cool.
Can I just?
Can you demonstrate that real quick?
Yes, you're demonstrating it just fine. So can I
Yeah,
please
you're
answer?
just making the assertion here. Can you demonstrate this?
Can I
based off
answer
of
the
premises?
question? So listen, I'm gonna help you out, bro. I'm gonna give you the answer. Okay, the answer is nuclear weapons, right? That is the administration's primary objective. What they want to achieve.
That's preference
is
based because there's
destroying
multiple
their-
factors here.
Bro, listen, listen, dude. Here,
Are you saying
if
that
you
every person in the Trump administration all agrees that WMDs is the reason why they're there, or is it going to be based off the individuals?
What? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to laugh. I'm really not. This is just really
Here,
funny.
let
What
me
do you
dumb
mean?
this down for you.
Yeah, yeah.
You're making
Dumb
the
it
assert
down for
case.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. You're making the assert case that everyone in the Trump administration is all agreeing that we're only there for WMDs. Which
So
this
the
is why
administration
disobedience-
has specific goals. Can you provide for me someone in the administration who has said there's a separate goal outside of the administration?
outside of the administration. Yeah, they have different goals, but they come together
Who?
to try to get to some common ground.
Who?
JD Vance versus like Trump.
JD Vance doesn't have a different objective. What's JD Vance's objective?
Yeah, he might have his own philosophy or at the same time personal preferences that would not align with Trump. This is just following the laws of logic. Do you understand
Again,
that?
what I asked you was, what is the administration's primary objective? So I'll just answer. The answer is nuclear weapons, okay? It's why we
Can you
conducted...
demonstrate that that's the only justification?
Yes, sure. The president has said it multiple times. Everyone knows.
Wait, now you're just pinpointing to one person. You said their administration, which an administration is more than one person. Can you demonstrate that the whole administration...
Who's making the decisions here?
Wait, hold up a second.
Who makes the
Can you
decisions
demonstrate based off of your argument that you presented that the whole administration has the same goal?
Listen, I'm going to kick you if you keep being a clown. So I'm just going to try and
I'm
have
not being a clown. I'm
going
being
to
very
try and
precise
have
with
a
my words, unlike
conversation
you.
with you. I'm going to try and have a conversation with you. You sound like a clown, so that's why I'm calling you a clown. So listen.
Oh, okay.
So we
And that's just
conducted.
preference based.
So listen, the president of the United States and the administration you can literally go to the White House website and see what were the goals of this specific Operation Epic Fury, okay? And they say to make sure that they don't have a nuclear weapon. Donald Trump's been asked multiple times, what do you have to say to Americans who are paying increased fuel costs, right, about the war in Iran? What do you have to say to them? Well, it's worth it to make sure Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon. Marco Rubio said it today, to make sure they don't have a nuclear weapon. They've all said this. Pete Hegseth just spoke this morning, talked again, to make sure Iran comes to the table and that they don't have a nuclear weapon. Additionally, opening up the Strait of Hormuz, but that was a retaliatory consequence of the conflict. So let's just stick to the nuclear aspect of all of this. Are you aware that there was a military operation conducted just months prior in the summer of 2025?
Me, I'm aware of the situations that were taking place in October of 2023, earlier all the way up. So if we want to be very precise,
again, we're talking.
talk about October 1st.
Stop talking about 2023. We're talking about an imminent threat, a hostility defense, which would be the only justification for the war. I'm sure you don't sound like someone who watches committee hearings. I'm sure you didn't watch.
Wait, what happened in 2023?
I'm
What
sure you
threat did
didn't
the
watch
IRI did to us?
Can you stop talking for a second? I'm
Wait,
sure.
you're presupposing two factors here because in 2023
you're
they attacked our
preferencing the
bases.
preference of the preference. Wait, if the administration, what if someone in the administration doesn't agree? Listen, there was an operation conducted in the summer of 2025. It was called Operation Midnight Hammer. Are you familiar?
A little bit.
Okay, tell me a little bit about it.
Wait, I want you to engage with what happened in 2023
All right,
before we go to 2025.
2023 has nothing to do with what we're talking
Wait, it
about.
does.
I'm
Because
going to be
case
very. Listen, I'm going to be very nice about this. You should never debate again. You're by far one of the dumbest people I've ever talked to. Wait, and the preference is assuming that... I just wondered, does the pseudo-intellectual shit actually work on people? What the fuck was that? I know you guys think he was trolling. I don't think he was trolling. I think that dude was 100% serious. Wah, wah. He thinks calling Iran the IRA makes him sound smart. Oh, God. He's literally an idiot, dude. He has no idea why we're there. If you can't tell me what the objective of the conflict is, you shouldn't be discussing it. You shouldn't be discussing it. No shot he was trolling. I think that he initially thought that that kind of game would work, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he's never watched before. I don't know. I know. You would think that, Sean. Dumb people typically fall for pseudo-intellectualism. Dumb people typically fall for pseudo-intellectualism. I don't have to have an opinion, John. They've already laid it out. Objective has to do with person to person. I have no idea what he was talking about. Like, literally, if that's a real person, bro, my advice to you is stop trying to be good at debating and just start educating yourself on what's going on in the world. You know, that's part of the problem is when people want to have these conversations, they want to like become more familiar with debate culture words rather than actually educating themselves on a particular topic. That's what you need to be focused on. Are you a Trump supporter? Are you a Trump supporter?
You talking to me?
Who else would I be talking to? You just called
Well, I
in,
didn't
bro.
know. I didn't hear a thing. Yes, I'm a diehard Trump supporter.
Okay, brother. What's diehard?
And you're a
mean,
diehard Trump hater.
I'm a diehard. Yeah, I don't know about diehard Trump hater. I just hate fascism, you know?
Well, you just don't understand what the man's doing. That's all it is.
Okay, tell me what he's doing.
Okay, he systematically kicked Russia and China out of Venezuela. He took Maduro out so now the people get the oil revenue and not just one man. Okay? Cuba's going to go next. We're going to get rid of Russia out of Cuba. The man is making the Western Hemisphere safe.
These guys are just so simple. So tell me how he's doing that in Iran, because what you're claiming can't be accomplished. Okay, go ahead.
No, his main thing was keeping a nuke out of their hands because they are a crazy bunch of people, and they would definitely use it.
I would say Trump is a crazy bunch of people.
And I love it.
So you like crazy people being in possession of nuclear weapons as long as they're American?
Dude, are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Here's the problem.
Dude,
right?
we've had nukes here forever. It doesn't matter who it's in.
So what makes Iran any more dangerous than North Korea, who possesses these capabilities?
Because North Korea knows better. Iran is crazy. They're whacked.
Kim Jong-un is not crazy?
Oh, he's crazy, but he's not going to attack anybody. Where Iran would have absolutely no problem holding the whole Middle East hostage with a nuclear weapon.
So that's an assumption, right? But what I can tell you is that Iran doesn't have nuclear weapons. And
no, but they have the powder. We bombed into the ground.
Right. So why is it a primary objective months later if we already bombed it into the ground?
Well, because all they got to do is go dig it up. That's what we want to do, so they can't have it.
That's not how that works. What did we bomb during Operation Midnight Hammer specifically?
Do you think it destroyed the nuclear powder?
According to the president and this administration, yes.
Nah, they believe it's under the ground yet. It's just going to be
Where
difficult
did you read
to get
this?
it out.
Where did you get this information?
Oh, that's common knowledge.
No, it isn't.
Oh, dude, I don't know what planet you just. Man, you're so anti everything. I can't believe it.
I just know a lot about this, and you're lying right now. There was 3
I'm lying.
facilities
What am I lying about?
that they're going to retrieve something. What are you talking about? So
Well, that's what his goal is. He doesn't want him
what
to
was
dig it out.
bombed during?
Okay, let's say it is
Stop
gone.
talking for a
Let's say
second. Stop talking for a second. What was bombed during Operation Midnight Hammer? What was the goal?
That was to take out the enrichment centers underground.
Not just that, right? There was there was an enrichment facility. There was a nuclear technology center. It was just to destroy their ability to develop nuclear weapons. Agreed?
Right.
So they dropped a bunker buster, a GBU-57 on a enrichment facility that's buried deep in the ground. They bombed the Natanz uranium enrichment facility and then Esfahan in the nuclear technology. If Donald Trump says that those sites are obliterated and we've stopped their ability to develop nuclear weapons, how can nuclear weapons be an imminent threat and therefore a legal justification for a hostility
Not
defense?
anymore, but listen.
No. What do you mean not anymore? Stop trying to skip over this. We're not skipping over the reason he did this. This is where the lie is, and that's where
they can't do it.
This is where the lie is, and this is the problem.
How do you know the enrichment, the uranium they have enriched was destroyed?
How do you know?
You won't know that
because the president said we obliterated, literally, I'm using the exact terminology he used, obliterated their ability. You know he used that term. Good. So what does the term obliterated mean?
Yeah, he said that, yes.
So is he lying?
They obliterated the ability for them to enrich any more uranium.
So then how the hell would they develop nuclear weapons without an enrichment center, without nuclear technology?
They've already got some enriched.
So you're saying that they rebuilt these facilities, enriched uranium to weapons grade?
No, they already had it.
How do you know this? This is
them.
not what so then why did the president say we obliterated their ability to develop nuclear weapons?
And we did. But you're not saying
when was this operation?
Hold
on. You're saying we did, and then you're saying, okay, it's still a justification for a hostility defense. When did Operation Midnight Hammer occur?
Oh, fuck, I don't know the date.
Well, that's important.
It happened at midnight. It happened in the middle of the night.
Wow.
But I couldn't tell you the date.
So again, but when did it happen? What year?
It just happened this year or late last year.
It happened less than a year ago. It happened in June 2025. So you're saying in less than a year, we can use it. If we obliterated it, they wouldn't have it in less than a year. And if that's the case, then what prevents us? What are we doing specifically militarily now to prevent them from developing it again next year and having to come back and do the exact same thing?
That's why he's wiping out the country now, so we don't have to deal with it in 2 years.
You mean he's obliterating it again?
It's what? Deliberating what? He's going to.
What is he doing militarily?
He's going to take the mullahs out of power. Is what he's going to do.
No, he's not. Let me explain something. What's he doing? We'll go over the leadership structure next, which you clearly also don't understand. But I'm asking you, what is he doing?
God.
This is very important. What is he doing militarily right now to prevent them from developing nuclear weapons in the future?
Well, for now, he's taking their money, so they're going to collapse anyway. He's not letting them get the oil revenue, so they can't pay their proxies. Their proxies can't get paid. They have no money from oil.
Guy, we're losing money too. We're losing money too with the Strait.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Of course you're fine with it. I'm glad. Congratulations, you're fine with it, but we're not pivoting. I'm asking you very specifically, what are we doing? Listen to the question. What are we doing currently, militarily, to prevent them from developing nuclear weapons in the future? You just claimed the president the administration can claim that we obliterated their ability to develop nuclear weapons, but then they can have possession or be close to developing nuclear weapons just months later, less than a year later.
I'm
and that
not
can
talking
be
about
stop
building a
talking
bomb right
for
now.
a second. And that can be a
Jeez,
primary
dude.
justification for the war. What I'm going to ask you one more time, and then I'm going to give you the answer. What are we doing militarily to ensure that they're not going to try and develop this weapon, this type of weapon in
I
the future?
couldn't tell you that. That's beyond my classification.
No, it's not. I'll answer the question. The answer is nothing militarily. We're doing it diplomatically, or attempting to do it diplomatically. So what we're doing is we're back at the starting line, right? Claiming we're at the finish line, but we're back at the starting line where we were with the JCPOA, which Donald Trump tore up, claimed he could negotiate a better agreement, opted for military action, claimed that military action was a success, and then used that objective again as the hostility defense for a war months later that is now costing Americans extra at the fuel pumps, right? So I'm trying to explain to you, right, what did we accomplish through conducting these military operations without diplomacy? Nothing, which means diplomacy was the answer all along.
You were trying to do it diplomatically, but he wants to get the mullahs out of power.
We had a diplomat. No, he doesn't. Regime change has already occurred, according to the president. Would you like me to read direct quotes from the president?
No, so they say. But like even Trump says, he don't know who he's negotiating with.
So wait, what the reason he's saying that is because he doesn't understand how the power is divided up among the regime, right? And how it's spread out. That's what he's saying. He doesn't, whether he's negotiating with Tehran or the IRGC. I'm trying to explain to you that we already had a diplomatic agreement in place. Donald Trump tore it up and claimed that military action would be a better route forward to ensure that they never possess these capabilities. But clearly, that didn't accomplish anything in preventing them from possessing these types of weapons. Because you're claiming we could obliterate these facilities in Fordo, in Natanz and Esfahan, and months later it can be a primary objective. Because military action, and again, we can talk outside of this conflict. You can tell me historically, when has a country forced a country to surrender these types of weapons without diplomacy?
It never worked.
Facts. Diplomacy.
I know, it never worked.
Correct. So I'm glad you're understanding that, because diplomacy is the only answer. It's the only way to get countries to do this. And when you bomb them into submission and you kill leaders, you make it more difficult to come to the table, and you further incentivize them
when you kill
to
the
develop
leaders
these types of weapons.
Who killed what? How many? 47,000? I don't know how many he killed. The mullahs killed for protesting, and that's their own people they were mowing down.
So whether or not
you're going to let that happen?
So am I going to let that happen? So whether or not the regime is evil is a separate discussion. My argument is simply what the United States need not be involved. But do you really care about protesters being killed by the government?
Yeah, I think that's pretty bad.
So then were you out protesting on behalf of Alex Preddy when he was executed in the streets of Minnesota?
No, he deserved it.
What?
He deserved it.
He deserved it.
You don't bring a gun to a knife fight, buddy.
There you go, folks. He cares about the protesters being slaughtered, is okay with American citizens.
Two of them against 47,000?
It's been more than two. I can name more than two off the top of my head.
You got Good and Purdy.
No, that's in Minnesota. You have Ruben Ray Martinez. Okay, you have a bunch of different people. The point is that Keith Porter Jr. is another one. You have a bunch of people who have been killed by us. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm simply pointing out you don't actually care about protesters being killed by the government, because if you did, you would have been you're admitting
not
it.
At all.
So stop claiming that you care about the liberation of the Iranian people.
I'm a fucking Marine, dude. I'm a fucking Marine. Let's go kill them all.
You're not a Marine, because a Marine would never say that.
Fuck, I ain't.
Okay, what did you do in the Marines?
I was fucking aviation, dude. Shot a 50 cal out of a 46.
So what was your MOS?
682, 3072. I kept the birds in the air.
No Marine I've ever met would say, kill them all. And I wish I was...
You don't know any Marines, dude.
No Marine would say, kill them all. That's a fucking insane thing to say. Yeah.
I got a handful of them would love to go over there.
Yeah, but not kill innocent people.
Dude, I was sitting off that ship, one of those ships off the coast of Iran back in 1980 when we tried to rescue the hostages then from the embassy.
Where'd you go to boot camp, by the way?
San Diego.
What do they
If
call
that
that?
matters.
What do they call that?
Marines, MCRD, Marine Corps Recruit Depot. That's what they call it.
Okay, but there's a
I
different.
know what you want to try and refer to.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It
'Cause
doesn't
you
matter
don't
where you
know.
go to boot camp. You're still a Marine.
Yeah. Okay.
And I
So-
guarantee all those guys on that ship, or those ships sitting up there, they're chomping at that bit to let
Okay,
them
but
go.
I'm talking about innocent citizens. I'm talking about civilians here. We don't.
Well, if
why
you
we-
want to take on the police, what do you think is going to happen?
Wait. So are you? So now you're saying to kill the innocent Iranian people?
No, we're not talking about that at all.
So that's what
I'm talking
saying.
about these. I'm talking about these dumb protesters who think they're going to take on the police.
So you
and
want to
nothing's gonna
kill
happen to them.
America? So you want to kill American citizens?
If they get in the way, it's not my problem.
So how did Alex Pretty get in the way that justified his death?
He brought a gun to a protest. Who does that?
Is it illegal for him to be in possession of a firearm?
you're
Was he
asking for
brandishing the
trouble.
firearm? Was he brandishing
You're
the firearm?
asking for trouble if you do that.
Did he threaten
You
anyone with
get
the
what
firearm?
you get.
Did he
You
threaten?
get what you get. You
Hold
bring
on, dude.
You don't bring a gun to a protest.
Did
That's
he?
just stupid.
Why not? What? It's his constitutional right to carry anytime he wants.
Sure it is. And look where it got him.
Wait, that's not why. They didn't even know he was in possession of a firearm until he was on the ground. They pulled the firearm off him. And then,
I know that.
Hold on,
I watched
excuse
this.
me. They pulled the firearm off of him and then executed him after the firearm wasn't on his person.
As they should have.
So you're saying he should have been executed simply for being in possession of a firearm legally?
In a protest, yeah.
Do you know that you supposedly joined the military to defend the Constitution?
I joined during Vietnam, dude.
That's despicable that you would say that about someone lawfully exercising their constitutional rights.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Do you care about the Constitution?
Oh, I support it.
Okay, tell me a little bit about it. What are your first 5 amendments?
I'm going to fucking defend this country with
What are
my
your
life.
first 5 amendments since you respect it so much?
Dude, I swore the oath to it,
Can you
okay?
give me your first 5 amendments that you swore an oath to?
No, I honestly, I can't.
Because you don't give a shit. Why
You're right.
You're telling
dude,
me.
how-
Here's
you
you know how
finally getting it?
you know how disrespectful it is. You know how
I
disrespectful,
don't care.
bro. You know how disrespectful it is to say that people should be unalived for exercising their constitutional rights. Let me just break down this for you. Maybe you didn't hear me. Maybe you want to take this back and not have this on the record because this is embarrassing for you. This guy was protesting, which he's constitutionally allowed to do. He was thrown on the ground. They pulled the firearm off him. The federal agent who pulled the firearm off him was way away from him and screamed, "Gun. I have his
Yeah.
gun." And then they all started firing on him. Was his death justified?
Oh, that's hard to say.
So
He's
now you're
still dead
backtracking.
regardless.
You're backtracking a little
he's
bit.
still dead regardless.
I don't know, man. I have a lot of respect for Marines, and I've never heard a Marine talk this way, ever. And ever
You've
would a
never been on
Marine... ever would a... No, fuck that. Ever would
You've
a
never
Marine...
been on a ship
ever
with
would a
500
Marine...
Marines,
ever
dude.
would a Marine fucking say, "Yeah, kill them all, blah, blah, blah." Dude, listen. You're
Dude, I'm serious.
you're advocating for something pretty dangerous, and when it ends up happening in the future, maybe some government you don't agree with decides that they're going to do this to the American people. I don't want to hear you cry.
Oh, what woulda, shoulda, coulda, maybe.
What are you
Don't
going to
give me
do?
that.
What are you going to do? End up becoming Rambo and protecting people? It's embarrassing, dude.
No, I'm going to protect me and my own.
You're not going to protect anything.
Oh, okay.
I doubt you
First
can.
Amendment.
I
Second Amendment
doubt
works
you
for
can
everybody.
protect the fart cushion you sit on. Okay.
Hey, Second Amendment works for everybody.
Wait, are you actually citing the Second Amendment now?
Of course. But you
Oh
just
my
don't
God!
have to vote,
Wait,
man.
in this
If
same
you do something
conversation,
stupid-
guys, in this same conversation, this guy said the Second Amendment will protect me.
No,
Dude,
no,
oh my
weapons,
God.
my weapons will protect me.
Wait a second. If Alex Preddy's Second Amendment right doesn't matter, yours doesn't either. You understand
Well,
that,
you
right?
haven't talked to a lot of Marines, dude.
Did you hear what I
All the
just
ones
said?
I
Did you
know
hear
of.
what I just said? I don't care if a Marine says that, they're despicable too. Okay?
We really are.
Yeah, I don't necessarily believe you are, but
That's the culture,
that's
dude.
besides the point. I mean, look, here's the point, everybody. I just want you to understand, right? If you are a Second Amendment supporter, even if you're a Second Amendment supporter that believes in common sense legislation, listen
Well,
to
you're not
how
gonna get
these
that.
MAGA people talk about the Second Amendment. Listen to how they speak about it. They do not
Yeah.
care. So, anyways, the reason I brought this up, dude, was to prove that you don't care about liberating people. Liberating the Iranian people is not on, you don't care about. That's not an objective you care about. And it's not an objective
No.
of the administration
You're
either.
wrong. He's taking the oil revenue away from the mullahs, dude.
Why do
It's
you
going to
care
go to
about the
people.
Iranian people and not people in your own country?
Well, when they killed 57,000, how many they killed, yeah, that gets a little bit rough there, don't you think?
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the United States government has killed far more. Far more. Do you know that as a part of the initial strikes, we bombed an educational institution full of
Do
little
you know what was in that
schoolgirls?
educational system? Did you see the pictures of what was in there? It rocket launchers, jeeps. That was a
No, not
military.
true. There was no
Oh, okay.
rocket launchers in the fucking preschool. That's not true. Stop citing
They were
something
in
you
the
saw on
yard,
Facebook. It's not true. We bombed an educational institution as a part of the initial strikes. And by the way, the United States has a long history of, I mean, do you really want to get into how many civilians the United States has unalived, sorry for the TikTok language, during war? I mean, war or invasions.
Sure. That's what war's about, dude.
No, it's not about
People
killing
die.
civilians. It's not
People
about
die.
killing civilians. We're not talking about
Oh, you think-
why are there laws that prohibit killing innocent civilians if it's a part
Do
of
you
war?
think they did that on purpose, or they had
I
that
think
intel?
that it's not even that they did it on purpose. It's that I believe they consider it a necessary consequence. And that's part of the
Sometimes
problem
it
that
is.
I have with the U.S. government is they'll say, well, we didn't deliberately target it, but you didn't care either, right? Don't tell me in 2026 you didn't know that was a fucking preschool. I don't buy that for a second. They could hit a gnat in the ass with a rocket in fucking Egypt. Don't tell me that you didn't know that was a preschool. It's very obvious that it was, and this is what they do. They consider this just a necessary consequence, and then they claim, oh well, we didn't know it was a preschool. They've done this historically multiple times. How many
It's called
innocent
collateral
people
damage.
were killed in Iraq and Afghanistan? Iraq specifically.
Collateral damage happens in every war.
What
Not just our war.
Iraq collateral damage didn't even deserve to be invaded. Why were we in Iraq?
They sure did,
Why?
because they got crazy leaders that kill their own people.
Okay, and what did that so wait, you want to kill innocent people in the country, innocent
No.
civilians because they're killing their
I'm not
people?
saying deliberately, dude.
You just
Not
said
deliberately.
they kill
It's
their people.
collateral damage.
You just said they kill
It
their
happens
people.
in war.
Can you stop talking? You said they kill their people. And then this is an argument about you justifying killing civilians. Are you
If
this
you're
deluded?
stupid-
Are you this deluded? Honestly.
Dude, you do stupid shit, you're going to pay the price.
What did they do that's stupid? They're living in their country. Innocent people were killed in Iraq.
They are happy we're doing this.
I'm asking you about Iraq. You said they deserve to be invaded, right? What was the result of that
Yeah.
operation? Did that help the people of Iraq ultimately?
Well, it's not over yet.
Iraq?
Let this thing play out. Oh, Iraq. Oh, yeah, Iraq was a quagmire. Iraq was the dumbest war we ever did.
Okay, that's what we were talking about. I was giving you an example of how many innocent people, over 1 million innocent people, killed as a result of a conflict, an unjustified invasion that ultimately destabilized a region. By the way, guess whose intelligence played a large part? Israeli intelligence. Benjamin Netanyahu
Israeli was the
testified in
biggest.
front of Congress, telling people that if we destroy the regime, the dictator in Iraq, that it will destroy It will eliminate funding terror and ultimately have numerous positive benefits in the region, and it destabilized the Middle East. So that just goes to show you that Benjamin Netanyahu is full of shit. Listen, dude.
He is. I agree with you. I totally agree with you on that.
Yet you vote and support someone who bootlicks Israel. Good job. Sounds like good job, Marine.
He's doing a
good job, Marine. Good job, Marine. Have a good day. Good job, Marine. Have a good day. You should be proud of those statements you made. Yikes. Yikes. Just don't sell me that you care about liberating people if you don't care about people dying in the United States or any other country or any other conflict. And by the way, they just said today, just so everybody knows, right? Pete Hegseth spoke today during the presser and said nation building, liberation is not a part of this conflict. It's not a part of our plan. We got some mad troglodytes in the chat. Stop fucking projecting. You're just mad because you're dumb and you know it.
Call from.
Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
How old are you?
30.
All right, hold on a second.
Call from.
Are you a Trump supporter?
No.
Okay, what's up? What's up, bro?
Me? Oh, I'm on right now?
Yeah, well, actually, this is a pre-segment before we send you over to Adam. We just wanted to know, what did you want to talk about? Sir, what did you want to talk about? Gotcha. He was going to slur. What's up, man? How you doing? Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
I'm good. What's going on?
Oh, no, I came across your channel, and I think that it's important for Americans to talk about their different beliefs and to try to come together as one and talk about different ideologies and whatnot.
All right, what's up?
So, what's your views on the war in Iran?
I think it's probably one of the biggest mistakes of his presidency.
You think so?
Yep.
I think people do not give Donald Trump enough credit for his smart moves that most people do not see what's really going on.
No, we see it. It's just not possible.
So, do you know who Iran sells the most amount of oil to?
Guy, we understand. Listen, I know you think this is a profound point, but we understand the talking point that he's trying to get control of the petrodollar and weaken our adversaries. We know what you're going to say. So just make your point so I can debunk it really quick. Go ahead.
Okay. Who buys the most oil?
Can you please make your point?
I asked you a question. Do you know?
No, I don't. Tell me.
That would be China.
Yeah. Wow, that's profound. I didn't know that. Yes, Guy. Of course, Guy. I literally just said it 5 seconds ago.
Okay.
Again, here? Let me just quickly skip to the end of this debate. They all think this is profound. I've had about 6,000 Trump supporters make this same argument. Okay, dude.
All right.
Is this possible without regime change?
Do you know how many?
Is this possible without regime change?
In Iran?
Yes.
Is it possible? What's your question? Is what possible?
Oh my God! You want to control the Strait of Hormuz, correct?
Yeah.
You would need regime change because you're not going to be able to, without a permanent presence, you wouldn't be able to accomplish this goal, right? So you would need regime change. Do you understand? We're going to talk a little bit about the structure of the IRGC. The difference between what Tehran has and the IRGC, and if regime change is possible. You're going to get taught a lesson here today. You think you're saying some profound point.
No, I don't.
I don't think I know everything. That's why I think it's important.
You
to
do
discuss.
think that you have a profound argument, and it's laughable. Every day people
No,
make this same argument. The fact that you said people can't see this is laughable. Of course we see it. Of course we know you're making it. It's the same. Trump's playing 4D chess.
It's not.
Let's talk about regime change. Could you accomplish this without regime change? Yes or no? The answer is no.
No.
Right.
No, exactly.
Right,
That's why
exactly.
we
And
have
has Donald
citizens-
Trump declared regime change has already occurred?
No, but I think Iran celebrating
That's not
the fact
true.
that
That's not
they
true.
are no longer
You're wrong.
being ran
Stop.
by the
You're
same
wrong already.
regime
Stop.
that has
You're
been.
wrong already. Stop. You just said no. Yes, he
So
has.
what are they celebrating? Why are they thanking Donald Trump? And yet in America we're crying and whining about it's war, it's war. They're celebrating just the way Venezuelan was.
You're talking about the people of Iran?
Yeah, celebrating.
Yeah,
Saying, "Thank you, Trump."
because the Ayatollah was oppressive, but that doesn't change the fact that it's a.
That's a regime change.
Excuse me,
right?
that's not a
That's a
regime.
start.
Okay, excuse me.
From a president
Can you
to
stop
every other
talking and
president.
I will explain? It is not regime
Yeah,
change.
thank you.
Iran is not structured the way that you're thinking, like Iraq, for instance. When we toppled the Hussein regime, the Iraqi people celebrated,
Yeah.
but ultimately it created a power vacuum that empowered extremist organizations like Al-Qaeda in Iraq, who eventually became the Islamic State. So that's number one in terms of the consequences of legitimate regime change. But when we're talking about Iran in specific, Iran, okay? They have a decentralized, multi-layered system of government. They do not have a one-man dictator. So killing the Ayatollah didn't collapse the regime. They had a three-man council set up just hours later. That council installed the new Ayatollah, who is the son, who's 30 years younger and 3 times as radical as his father. Okay? You don't understand the structure of the government, and that's why you think they are a one-man dictatorship. That's why you think this theory about weakening our adversaries is actually possible when it's not.
I understand that, but also, I mean, taking out their military strategies, ways of missile making, possible nuclear weapon making, and weakening their own weapons that could be used against our allies, if not us, to take out the military the best that we can. That also allows the people to overthrow their own regime, which we had to do, just like we did in the Civil War, to become the people that we are today, and the country that we are, and the freedom that we have, and the freedom of speech.
So I don't know if you listened to Pete Hegseth today, but they basically are, they've already said they're not interested. This isn't a nation building project, okay? They're not interested in regime change. The reason they're not interested in regime change is because of what I just explained to you. And it being
the citizens, sir? No, or do you mean real question? So are you talking about the citizens, or are you talking about the Iran regime right now?
In terms of what?
They're not. They don't want that. Are you talking about the citizens, or are you talking about the regime?
Who doesn't want what? I'm trying to explain to you that it's.
You said that they.
Oh, I'm talking about our government doesn't want. Our government is not trying to. Our government doesn't care whether or not they uprise against the regime anymore. That was an original plan to try and prevent having to put boots on the ground. When they conducted the initial strikes, they were trying to get the people to storm the regime, to spark an uprising against the regime. That was the goal originally.
To create chaos with them.
Yes, but understanding, right, that the system is multi-layered, and even if the person at the top disappears, and the fact that there's a network of clerics and IRGC commanders and judges and overseer councils, and how the IRG, do you know what the Mosaic Doctrine is? This is a very important aspect of why it's impossible. Are you familiar with what the Mosaic Doctrine is?
No, sir, I am not.
Okay, so when you talk about this country, right, and this government, you think of it as a one-man dictator and an army. You're thinking of it how Iraq was structured, kind of, right? That's not how it's structured. The IRGC uses guerrilla warfare, and they operate independently from one another. They break up into 31 different commands over 31 different provinces. It looks like a one-man rule from the outside, but inside it's a multifaceted system, and power is centralized at the top in theory, but it's really distributed across a lot of loyal institutions in practice. Okay. And so around 2005 or so, the IRGC reorganized into these 31 different regional commands over 31 different provinces, right? So every region can act as a self-contained mosaic tile. They have their own weaponry, they have their own communications. Even if central command is cut, even if their communicating with the regime is eliminated, their communication with the regime is eliminated, they can still fight. So you have to fight, you have to basically fight 31 individual armies, right? 31 different individual armies. Do you know what the Iranian planners who built the Mosaic Doctrine looked at to come up with this restructured military strategy? Saddam's centralized army collapse in 26 days in 2003 when the United States invaded Iraq. Right?
Yep.
And then they obviously looked at Hezbollah and how their cells, which are also decentralized, by the way, survived the Israeli strikes in 2006. They don't want a Saddam single point of failure system. And so this has been structured to make it impossible to collapse without long-term, prolonged warfare, right? The goal becomes not to win, but to make winning impossible for the United States.
Yeah, so it's a never-ending war. If you ask me personally, I do not think that our government personally cares about other citizens in other countries.
But does that help you understand, dude, why regime change is not possible? Because I'm telling you, I think the government truly believed in their heart that they would be able to spark an uprising, not understanding the full structure in the Mosaic Doctrine and these regional commands the way I explained it to you. And once they became aware of how multi-layered this system is, they did what they always do. They just declared victory. By the way, you said before Donald Trump hasn't said that regime change has occurred. He has said already multiple times. Regime change already occurred. I already conducted regime change.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. But I mean, there's always going to be good and there's always going to be evil until the people decide to do that. But if America is able to back them up and take out some of their leading bases, we'd say, around their country, then that would allow them to have a lot more fighting chance.
Not regime, not in terms of regime change.
But yeah, no, okay.
We're talking about regime change.
Yeah, but my whole point about the Iran war is people are thinking so short term. They're not thinking long term of what that does to China, what that does for our economy, how that affects our oil reserve, which we have. We're not the largest oil reserve, right?
We're hurting. We're actively hurting it right now. Strait of Hormuz being closed.
I think it's about pushing it closer to the point to where China would have to buy our oil.
That's not what's
happening here. They would have to buy oil from us.
That's not what's happening here. I've already explained this to you. Are you willing to concede to what I just explained to you in detail?
I understand the regime change and all that, yes.
And it cannot happen without regime change, because what would stop Iran from just mining the strait as soon as you leave? What are they now trying to do? This all comes back to where we were originally, diplomacy. They're just trying to get out of this situation now. They're not trying to do anything more than just leave. That's what they want to do now, is get the fuck out and pretend that they accomplished these goals of obliterating their ability to develop nuclear weapons, which is what we're going to talk about now, not your fantasy objective. What is the president saying and the administration saying the primary objective of this conflict is?
Oh, they're going to definitely tell us it's about exactly doing exactly what we did in Vietnam, on top of being the world's heroes. And,
it's not about Vietnam.
Boost our economy.
What are you talking about?
Why were we in Vietnam? Supposedly, according
not
to the
because
media,
of nuclear weapons.
No. Oh, they're going to tell us nuclear weapons like they did in Iraq. And 9/11 happened. They knew who it was right
They
away.
said
And we
weapons
go
of
invade
mass
Iraq.
destruction in Iraq, which
Yes.
wasn't true.
And I did not support George Bush.
And was that a
that's
lie?
A whole other rabbit hole to get there.
And was that a lie?
Weapons of mass destruction?
Yeah.
I would not say that they had weapons of mass destruction.
It was
no.
a lie.
If
Just
you-
say it was a lie. It was a lie.
Yes,
The
yes,
United
it was a
States
lie.
didn't invade Vietnam because of the same thing. I don't even know why you're...
No, not Vietnam. We went there to implement democracy. We went there to help them. They were, and I think that America wants to also do that. We're the world's hero. If we could do that, and Trump can say, "Hey, we freed the people of Iran."
Do you know
did
why
everything
we went to
possibly could.
Vietnam, dude?
Yeah, the same thing that they were saying. We're going to go there. We're going to free. We're going to do this. If you ask me why we truthfully went there, yes, right. Why else did we go to Vietnam? Why were they sending everybody and saying we got
Communism is why.
Exactly.
They
yes, because we wanted to install democracy. That's exactly we wanted to take out regimes.
No, they felt that if South Vietnam became communist, then other countries in Asia would fall like dominoes to this communist takeover. So they decided to support South Vietnam's government and army against these communist forces. That's what the United States government claimed.
Yeah.
But what does that have to do with what's happening in Iran?
Because let me get to the bigger picture, like I was trying to say. For example, people hated tariffs, right? Everybody was freaking out about tariffs. Do you know what tariffs did for our country? Before the court said, give back the money, he can't do that, even if he couldn't. That brought our economy up if we were able to keep that. So you know what that did? Do you know how many businesses pulled out of China after these tariffs were implemented? Do you know? Do you have a number?
Can you tell me really quick? I'm just out of curiosity because you're incredibly misinformed. Can you tell me
90%.
Can you tell me one credible source that you get your information from?
Yeah, the internet, like everybody else.
The internet's not a source.
I don't.
The internet's
right
not
now,
a source. I need you to provide me one credible source you get your information from.
Get it right now. Go ahead. Tell me where you get your information from.
Sure.
We'll
go one for one. Okay. How about Reuters?
Okay,
can you answer? Give me one. Shut up. We're not interested in your bullshit. Can you give me one credible source you get your information from?
Yeah, sure. Let me go ahead and give it to you.
No, just give me one. Tell me what credible guy. I'm gonna hang up on you if you crash out. One credible source that you get your information from.
Okay, let me go ahead and let me get this information.
No, answer the question. One credible source that you typically get your information from.
I don't stick to one. I look around.
Give me an example of a credible source. Give me an example of a credible source.
I will. Give me 1 second.
He can't do it. I'm not giving you 1 second. I've asked you multiple times. You notice how I can do it? I just said Reuters, right? See how easy that was? PBS. See how easy that was? BBC. You see how easy that was? Al Jazeera. You see how easy that was? I'm giving you these different sources but you can't give me one because you read it on Facebook. You read it on Facebook. It's chuddery, and you're not listening to what I'm saying, which is just typical. Oh, God. Can you imagine thinking it's as simple as crying about an Orange Man, infamous one? Listen, leave these conversations up to the adults. You're not smart enough to have them, okay? Oh, God. Let's... Credit to the bull source. Veronica, what are you talking about? Guys, do you see what Veronica just wrote? Veronica, hi. I said credible source. What is creditable source? Hey, Veronica, really quick. I just have a quick question for you. Can you call in and talk to me really quick? I would love for you to just call in really quick and talk to me. Call in, Veronica. Credible means trustworthy, Veronica, right? Credible source is one you can reasonably trust. He couldn't give me a source he could reasonably trust because he probably gets it from Facebook, which proves the point. You ran up behind me in a ski mask? No, you didn't, you fucking clown. If you ran up behind me in a ski mask, I would have clocked you. AP is another good one. Is it when you buy an article with a credit card? Yeah, exactly. Man. Oh my God. Noob gamer, I'm sure you're thinking of something else when I say BBC. It's why you're laughing. But because you're an immature goof. It's no surprise. So you're telling me it's not okay to call my sister hot? Yeah, exactly, Tribal Chief. Boris, stop crying in the chat. Bro, is that your name, bro, though? Boris? Boris, the Trump supporter. Guys, there's a guy named Boris, the Trump supporter, in your chat. I call it your chat because I refuse to take responsibility for what goes on in there. Curious, is there any policies or qualities as a president that you do like about Trump? I mean, I agreed with Operation Warp Speed largely. At least the intent behind it. Stop crying, Ty. It's okay. Well, that's what happens when you read. I know you guys are mad about that. Dust in the doink. Let's go. Let's go. Guys, I'm going to use the bathroom really quick. Give me 1 second. Would appreciate contributing to the gifting goal and completing the gifting goal. You haven't completed a gifting goal in a couple days. I'll be right back. By the way, if William is in here, you sent me a Cash App last night, and I didn't see it until this morning. Big W to you, William. I really appreciate you, bro. Jeremy, thank you so much, Jeremy. Appreciate you. Nayland, thank you. Jeremy says, for the genuine laughing. Nayland says, thanks. Thank you, Nayland. But W. William, I really appreciate that, William. It's very hard to agree with Donald Trump on anything, really. The price of the ballroom has ballooned to $1 billion. Wait, is that true? Dude, let me tell you right now, they're going to come to some... Oh, guys, the California governor debate is on. You guys aren't political. I don't think there's as many political nerds in here as me, though. I would watch that, but I don't think people would largely care. Most people would leave.
Please leave your
Lily.
message for
Hello, this is your favorite president. An unbelievable president when you really think about it. You're a handsome guy. Unbelievable guy. Keep supporting me. So true. I'm in the Epstein files, but you support me anyway. Unbelievable guy supports PDFs. I love you so much. Thank you very much, my favorite supporter. Your favorite president out. Happy Lily. Thank you so much, Happy Lily. Happy Lily. Thank you so much. That dude's going to get the... Being politically inclined and being a political nerd are two different things. Political nerd means you'll sit and watch the California governor debates with me. Why is your hand on my knee? I said we're watching the debates. You guys want to check in with them really quick, just for a second? Hold on, let me pull up the phone lines in the background just in case someone wants to call during this. If you don't send Adam a super chat, you're a Trumper. Facts. Facts on facts. I really would appreciate contributing to the gifting goal. You know. It helps. You know, you gotta... I would appreciate supporting the content. You know what I'm saying? When does it start? I thought there was one today. Is there not? I'm looking at the wrong month. Holy shit, I literally thought it was June. My God. I literally just thought it was June. No, there is a debate today.
You heard Mayor Mahan invoke MAGA values in his
Yes,
answer.
are you a Trump supporter?
There are more than 2/3.
Yes, are you a Trump supporter? What's up, bro? Are you a Trump supporter? Was that a little kid? Oh my fucking God. Stop calling me if you're a little
Of
kid.
registered voters in this state.
It is on. The debate's on, folks. Yeah. You guys want to listen to it for a minute? Yeah. Just Caitlin, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Caitlin. Jen with the $4.99. Jen, thank you so much, Jen. By the way, you guys can also support on Venmo and Cash App. I'll actually put it on here just if you want to. I get 100% of what you send on here. I just always forget to put it up. But if you want to... If you guys want to send me Cash App's Adam Cray, my Venmo's Adam Cray Politics. Make sure you don't fall for any underscores or any numbers or anything like that. I get 100% of what you send on these apps. Just so you know. What, you're not interested in it?
call from.
What's up, bro?
I'm an American supporter.
We can watch it. We can absolutely watch it. Let me just talk to this guy real quick.
You know?
What's up, bro?
You talking to me?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, no. I just,
Warlock, guys,
I mean-
Warlock wants me to beg some more. Guys, please send Venmos and Cash Apps, and please support the content. If you do enjoy me as a political creator, if you do support the content, if you do watch every day, that's how I'm supported, is through super chats and donations. No other way. I don't get paid through like views or anything like that. So would
that's
appreciate
like those,
supporting.
That's like those
All right.
evangelists. That's like those evangelists on TV. Almost.
Well, that's a little
But
bit
anyway.
different because they're selling a lie and I'm not. So.
Well, I don't know. I believe in the Lord, so. But
Well,
anyway,
do you care about Donald Trump depicting himself as Jesus?
Well, Hollywood stars have done it.
And it was wrong then.
They've dressed in costumes.
Oh, well,
and
that's
done their
different. You're talking
thing.
about like a movie.
Do I think Adam? Do I think that sometimes he doesn't make stupid comments? No, I don't. He does. Sometimes, his first presidency, he tweeted way too much. I don't tweet at all. I don't even know nothing about tweeting. I'm 68. But I mean, I'm a firm believer in America first, and you gotta support your country. And I don't think I honestly don't think that anything that your podcast or others like it are doing anything to help America, but are doing a lot to help Iran. And I'm sad for that.
By
Because
telling the truth about a war
they're-
that they clearly aren't telling the truth about?
But they are tyrants. They do want a nuclear weapon. I mean, everyone with a brain knows that.
Everybody
And
with
they
a
can't be
brain wants a
trusted.
nuclear weapon.
But some places just cannot be trusted with it.
According to who? The United States?
Well, no, according to me.
The United States
If
doesn't
Iran,
get to be the
I know
world's
you don't
police.
like. I know you don't like Israel. I've listened to your comments long enough, but Israel's never attacked anyone that hasn't provoked the attack.
What? Do you think the little babies in Gaza provoked the attack?
Well, did the little babies in Israel
They
deserve
genocide.
to be killed
Wait,
too in their homes?
Wait. It's not even nearly the same thing. How many people were
Of course
killed? How
it
many
is.
people have been killed in Palestine?
Well, when you fuck around, you find out, bro. That's what happens.
I don't think little
you know?
babies were fucking around. They were little
Well,
babies.
those little babies, Adam, turn out to be just like their daddies are today.
And that's
American
and
haters.
Guess what? You sound like Hitler.
American
right?
haters,
You sound like Hitler
bro.
right now.
I'm far
That's
from
what
Hitler.
Hitler used to say. It's
as a
funny
matter
that
of
people
fact,
who
my wife.
it's funny that people that advocate for Israel sound like Hitler and the Nazis when
I
they
have
say
no-
these people turn out to be like their parents. That's what Hitler
they
used
ha-
to say
they are.
about Jewish people. That's what Hitler used to
But
say about Jewish people.
World War
And it's
II only
wrong
lasted
then.
4 or 5.
It doesn't matter if it's
Oh
Israel
Lord! I
now.
now
It's
here you go
wrong.
on your
It's
talk.
wrong.
Here you're on your soapbox. Take it easy, man. Hitler was only in power for what? 5 years?
What?
You know,
You
5
don't know
years.
what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, what are you talking about, dude? How do you know so
Wait,
much?
hold on.
Is it from how you were brainwashed in school, or your parents, or whatever it is that you hate this country so much and defend other countries, foreign countries that chant
I don't
death
hate
to
this
America for 47 fucking years, and you support that?
I don't
They
hate
should
that.
all be done.
I don't hate
They
this.
should
guy.
all be done.
So first of all,
I believe you do. Just listening to your podcast, you never get a call from a Biden supporter.
yes, I do.
I haven't heard one.
They
If you're a
call,
Trump
but I
supporter,
know it's
give me a
because I'm
call.
not looking for Biden supporters to call, but they do call.
Why
anyway.
not? Let's hear what kind of spoo they want to give out. Because it's all bullshit.
They typically just call and say, "I agree with you, bro," and they
Yeah,
typically-
here's $5, and here's $5.
Yeah, does that
I
make you
hear
mad?
you. I hear you.
So
It's a
hold on, you
business,
said
man.
Hitler
It's a
wasn't.
business.
I just want to clarify because I don't like misinformation on my live.
Hitler was an Austrian. Hitler was an Austrian with a Jewish mother.
But Hitler was appointed chancellor when? When did what? Do you know
I
about
don't
the
know,
enabling?
42, 43.
No,
Yeah, I lived out,
1933.
I lived outside. Oh, well, he was in World War One. I lived outside Munich while I was stationed in the army.
1933
and I
wasn't
visited
World War
Dachau.
One era. He was from
you ever been to
Can
a
you stop
concentration camp?
Hold on for a second.
Have you ever been to a
Hold on
concentration
for a
camp?
second. Can I finish speaking?
You can't answer me. All right, go ahead.
It's not relevant, but let me finish speaking.
Yeah, no, it is relevant.
You could literally
Have you ever
go-
been to a concentration
Can I
camp?
finish speaking? Thank you.
When
Okay?
do you not stop speaking? Go ahead.
So he was appointed chancellor in 1933, right? If you knew anything about the history of like the Enabling Act and consolidating power, you would know he wasn't just in power for 5 years. When did World War II
World War
start?
II was 5 years long.
He
didn't
was
start his
in
shit until
power since
1940.
1933. He was in power from early 1933 to like the spring of 45. You're talking about roughly, what is that, 12 years in power.
Okay.
That's not 5 years.
So what's your point?
How long has Trump been in power?
5.5.
Right. So not even half. So the point is irrelevant as it relates to Hitler.
Exactly right. It is irrelevant.
So then why the fuck did you bring
what
it
I'm
up?
saying, Adam, all I'm trying to say though is that if I've seen this in my own family, bro. Now I hate calling an argument because we always end in an argument. I hang up because I'm pissed, but and I don't mean it. But you always take my call back, and I respect that. But I honestly see in you what I see in my niece. You know, she went to college. And I know that's a sore subject. She was a Catholic. She became an atheist, married a fucking woman, which I had no problem with that. Until her wife or husband or whatever she is tried to get her away from her family.
Married a who?
And she went to college. She went to college and she was totally freaking brainwashed, dude.
She married
totally
a Mormon,
brainwashed.
you said?
No, she married an atheist.
Oh, you said married a Mormon.
No, I didn't say that. That's what you heard. She married an atheist and became one when she was born a Christian. And, religion, okay, religion's religion. Everyone's got their own beliefs. I know mine. You got yours. You go where you go. I'll go where I'll go. And that's all cool. But you got to think, bro, America first.
But
America
here's the
first.
problem.
You got to take care of your country.
Look, I'm going to try and come at this from the most honest way I can, the most honest standpoint I can.
In layman terms,
yes,
please.
You are basically saying to me, in layman's terms, I'll keep it as simple as possible, that even if I think the United States government is wrong in a decision they make, I should defend them. I should support their decision regardless of... Because what you're not understanding is, I love the United States. I love the people of this country. I wouldn't waste my breath. The entire purpose is to try and be as skeptical as possible, to try and put as much pressure as possible, to try and convince as much and as many people as possible that the war is wrong, so they too speak out against it so that our government can do better in the future. That comes from a place of caring. That's not about hate. You're talking about it becoming almost like this American exceptionalist indoctrination that the United States can do no wrong. We're good by default. Every scenario, the United States is the good guy, and it's a good guy versus bad guy in a traditional sense, and it's just not true.
I think that America cares more about the world than Iran cares about the world, or many other countries. I think that America is the best country in the world and does the best that they can with the little they have. We have so much, what our problem is, we fight amongst ourselves. Iran isn't a war. War hasn't been declared. And it's been, 60 days?
Well,
I mean,
that's
and you got people like fuck, I can't even think of the clown's name on the Democratic Party that's saying there's a quagmire. Man, this ain't a quagmire. We're talking about open travel, free travel on ocean routes.
Yeah, but they had open travel prior to the strikes. The Strait of Hormuz wasn't even...
Iran had open travel for oil to China.
Yeah, because
Would they buy
why
90%?
wouldn't they?
90% of their oil? Well, China is our enemy. If you don't believe that, then you don't believe
But you're not
in America.
You're not ultimately fixing that. You're not doing anything about that because it would require regime change. But the point is this: what is the United States?
Regime change. I heard that argument before. Regime change can happen in Iran.
No, it can't.
Those people got to man up. Those people have to man up. They have to arm up, and they have to take control of their government, just like we did in this country and other countries have done in theirs. But when you have people that are like black booted down into the ground, and they're marrying 5-year-olds, and they got Sharia law and all. I mean, this stuff is like wacko, man. They're fucking crazy. They're sick.
Now,
these are sick people.
You don't want me
These
to
are
point
sick
out
people.
You don't want me to talk about. Wait, you don't think Trump is sick with the Epstein files and all that shit? Here's the thing.
Nah,
dude.
Trump did nothing on Epstein Island. I mean, who was in the fucking hot tub, bro? Clinton.
Well, I don't give
Clinton.
a shit.
Well,
Throw
Slick
him
Willie.
in prison
Slick
too.
Willie.
Fuck him
Slick
too.
Willie. You show me a photograph of Clinton doing something with somebody. He went to Epstein Island with his wife. And when Epstein came, before all this shit was known about, Epstein came to Mar-a-Lago, Trump kicked his ass out when he found out about it.
Well,
so, I mean, making that kind of stuff up without any facts. Trump is the one that
give you a
released
fact right now.
documents from Jeffrey Epstein.
true.
Trump's the one. Why didn't Biden release anything? Why didn't Obama?
So a couple
of
things
course it is.
we have to clarify.
What did
here.
Obama?
Hold
What did
on.
Obama or Biden release?
So we have to clarify.
What did
two
they
points
release?
you just made. Hold on. This is what I mean
Go ahead.
when I
I'm
say
listening.
that
I'm
the
listening.
truth matters, right? You have this.
Truth matters.
Look, I think people confuse what it means to be a patriot. You think of patriotism as I support the United States no matter what, even when they're wrong, and I support my government no matter what, even when they're wrong. But
Love it or leave it. That's my motto.
okay, but again, like that's not healthy.
Love it or leave it. Well, it is healthy.
Okay,
it
hold
is
on,
healthy.
hold on,
You have
hold
to
on, hold
support
on.
your own country.
Okay, but hold on. Let's break down two parts. So you said Trump, and please don't interrupt me. Okay, I didn't interrupt you.
Okay, I won't,
Trump
I won't,
said,
bro.
you said Trump kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. Trump kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago when? What year?
Before he was president.
Yeah, but what year? Because it matters in relation to when he was
Come
first
on, bro.
charged.
What do I know? I'm 68 years old, drinking a bourbon and Coke and having a cigar. What do I know? What year? I have
Okay.
no clue
So
what year.
in
It doesn't matter what year. The fact is, he kicked him out.
All right, so I'm going to explain to you. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because it was 2007, according to Trump. I'm not even, again, there's some people who say it was later than that, but according to Trump, it was 2007. When was Jeffrey Epstein first arrested for sex-related offenses?
I couldn't tell you that either.
The
but
answer is
while
2000.
Biden was president.
Hold on. No, the answer is 2006. That was the first time he was arrested for sex-related offenses. He was
Who was that? Obama? Was that Obama
He
then?
was 2006? No, it was George W. Bush.
Okay.
So I just wanted to bring that up because if Donald Trump cared about Jeffrey Epstein's behavior as soon as he was arrested for a sex-related offense, a sex crime-related offense, he would have cut him off then. According to Trump.
Yeah, well, he didn't have. It's not like he had contact with. You have a guy who's a billionaire
Can I please
living
finish
in New
my
York
points?
City. Hold on a minute,
Let
Adam.
me finish
Hold on
my
a second.
points. Let me finish my points. I let you talk. Let me finish my points.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Donald
When do
Trump
I get to
clearly
talk?
doesn't care. I let you talk a lot. This idea that he was the person who ratted anyone out is not true. Donald Trump allowed Jeffrey Epstein to frequent his establishment even after he was arrested. The second part I want to bring up is about you said, well, Trump's administration has released more files than Biden's administration. What you don't understand is Trump's administration is actively obstructing justice and interfering with the release of the files because there was a law passed called the Epstein Transparency Act by Congress with an overwhelming supermajority. It had one nay vote in the House and unanimous consent in the Senate, meaning it was a veto-proof.
It has nothing to do with what Congress does. Has nothing to do with Trump.
Okay, but Trump signed the bill. I'm trying to explain to you that it forced the Department of Justice the law specifically was crafted to force the Department of Justice to release these files. So saying more files were released under Trump is a disingenuous statement. Furthermore, I would add that Donald Trump tried to interfere with Republicans signing on to the discharge petition because he did not want this legislation to go to the House.
You hate Trump.
I also want to
you
add
hate
one.
Trump so much.
I also want to add one more thing, just so you know.
And then I can speak.
Okay.
No, okay.
Okay. Well, no, I want you to understand, right? What did you keep talking about criticizing your government. Thomas Jefferson is the guy who said that no government should be without critics. If its intentions are good, then it has nothing to fear from criticism. Do you
So
have
who was
respect-
Thomas Jefferson?
do
Who was Thomas Jefferson? Einstein? He had his faults too.
Okay,
You know?
but do you
We're
respect
talking about a
Thomas-
slave owner here.
Do you
We're
respect?
talking about a slave owner.
Wait. So now you're saying that you don't respect Thomas Jefferson?
No, these guys, I do respect our founding fathers. But you know what? What
He's
you don't
one of the
respect?
central figures in early U.S. history. If you want to talk about the fact that, yes, there's obviously serious issues with our history, that proves my point, not yours.
Of course
I'm
there
willing
are.
to talk about
Of course
that.
there are.
What I'm saying is, if you're a freedom and rights guy, okay, I think that you should be willing to be critical of your government. That's the entire point.
Let me tell you, bro. I'm a 20-year retired Army veteran. I've been critical of our government in places I've been sent and things I've been made to do, ordered to do. But you have to, when it comes down to it, you have to say, I support the United States of America. You have to say that.
That's the
you
problem.
have to do that.
That's your problem.
It's not a problem.
It is.
It's not a problem. I heard you earlier on the podcast. I was listening, and someone said something about Iraq. I'm sorry. And they said, well, they didn't have weapons of mass destruction. Well, mustard gas is a weapon of mass destruction.
Wait.
I've worn a gas mask. Have you?
Wait. You're saying Iraq had weapons of mass destruction?
Absolutely. They gassed their own people, the Kurds.
All right, stop it. Just stop.
How good? You don't believe
there
that?
was multiple inspections that proved they did not have weapons of mass destruction.
How'd they die? How'd they die then? Pollution?
So did we leave the Iraqi people in a better situation by toppling the regime, or did we create the Islamic State as a result of the expansion of Al Qaeda in Iraq?
Look, Iran attacked the United States 7 years ago? When they declared war on us and took our embassy. They should have been attacked then. That's a declaration of war. They should have been attacked right then and there and been done with and dealt with and finished off. That's an act of war. You can't do that.
Wait, who
you can't do that.
Wait, what are you talking?
Well, we're back to 1979 when Iran attacked, took over, killed people that worked at the U.S. Embassy in Tehran.
So do you know
students and everything else?
Do you know that it's already been proven that Iraq did not have those stockpiles of those chemical weapons anymore? They used to have them in the 80s, but they didn't have them.
They used them. That's not the fact. They used them.
They didn't have
so
them.
How,
they no
how
longer
are we
had.
We don't have a magic genie bottle to say that they don't have them no
So
more.
wait, hold on.
We know that they had them and used them.
No, our intelligence. We have intelligence agencies who are fully capable of determining whether or not you have active
Don't even
stockpiles
mention
or production programs.
Don't even mention the Christians in action, man, because the CIA, I trust them as far as I can throw them. Okay, so on that we're in full agreement. Same with the FBI. I trust them as far as I can throw them. But the bottom line, Adam, brother, you're an American. You have to stand up for America. Sometimes we're wrong. We're not always right 100% of the time. But you have to support your country, man.
No.
And the way I hear your site, I stumble on your site because I'm not too savvy on the computer and all. But I stumble on it, and all I hear is, Trump this and Trump that and Trump this and Trump that, and it's like, ridiculous. We're not trying to hurt people there. If we were, we would have done like Trump said and bombed them into the Stone Age, taken out their electric grid and knocked them out. But right now they have no money. They can't sell oil. That's all they got is oil and rugs. And they can't sell them. So what are they going to do? They're done. They know they're done. We know they're done. You know they're done. But there's nothing they can do. We're not bombing them, though. We're giving them an opportunity to join the world, to live peacefully, to turn their country into a paradise, to be Persia again.
So listen,
not to stone a person because they don't have their face covered.
You keep talking about how their government operates specifically. Our objective.
You don't
is
think
not
they're Stone Age?
This isn't a nation-building objective or a liberation objective. This is a war targeted towards
They're the
disabling
ones.
their ability
They're
to
the
develop
ones
nuclear
yelling
weapons.
death to America.
And
Are we
yell
yelling death to
so
Iran?
what makes them more dangerous than North Korea, who possesses the capabilities we so fear that
North
they're
Korea
going
is
to
just
possess?
too stupid and can't attack us. They
Too
don't have the knowledge or the will because they
have
know
the
what will,
weapons
they're
to do
smarter than Iran because they know what will happen to them.
The only difference is the missile tech. They absolutely possess the capabilities, though. But here's the point I'm trying to make, attacking your ultimate argument before I move on. Citizens and media need to, my position is, and will always be, that citizens specifically, but more importantly media, should openly criticize their government. It is harder for a government to hide corruption, to hide incompetence in this case, which I believe is largely what we're seeing with the Trump administration, lies.
Well, criticize it, but do it honestly.
Hold on. Authoritarian systems almost always start by trying to shut down criticism. Okay, that's why it is precisely dangerous to try and silence those critical, whether you agree or not. Okay, criticism is dangerous to abusers of power. Criticizing
what is the abuse of the media?
Excuse me.
What is the abuse of the media right
the
now?
Government isn't hating your country. A government is.
What about
This government is temporary. It's a temporary set of officials. It doesn't represent the United States as a whole. Like you would probably have many criticisms about Joe Biden. Did you universally support every policy?
Oh yeah, when my president shits his pants in front of the president and his wife of France, it kind of makes me feel sad.
Where'd you get that from?
Oh, that's all fact. That's known fact, man.
Trump falls asleep every cabinet meeting he has, dude. Trump falls asleep. Are you claiming Trump doesn't? Look at my live stream right now. That's not an AI photograph. That is Donald Trump.
I can't right now.
Asleep.
I had to log off, or I couldn't. You wouldn't be able to hear me, I guess.
Well, Mouth, thank you so much. I appreciate the $10 super chat, Mouth. Thank you so much. He is supporting the country by calling out our president and his idiotic policies.
No, I'm saying that we should have I support the media. We should have freedom of press. But at least they should be honest in their reporting. They should do their homework.
Is Fox News
right?
honest in their reporting?
Don't you agree? Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that, Adam?
Yes, but
do you agree?
Yes, but it occurs on both sides. But the dishonesty occurs on both sides of the political spectrum.
I agree.
And I would argue that Fox News has perpetuated far more falsehoods than the left side of the political spectrum.
What political party in the history of this country hasn't done the same shit?
Yeah, Republicans do it all the time through Fox News. Donald Trump.
So do Democrats. So Democrats.
So
Come
does
on,
Donald
man.
Trump care about the integrity of media outlets and the news that they report on? Because if he did,
I think he
why
does,
he
and
still
I think he cares about that. I think he cares that men shouldn't compete in women's sports.
Yeah,
don't you agree?
You've reached the dumb.
Don't you agree? Do you think a man? Do you think a man should compete against a woman, Adam?
Have a good night.
Don't hang up, brother. When it's getting really good,
you're being dishonest.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
You're reaching this dishonest level, and I'm not. You're trying to pivot to something completely unrelated that affects, I don't know, 0.000000000000000000009% of the population. We're talking about major issues, right? We're talking about these monster issues, and and the problem is that largely the people who say these things just use it as a precursor to start attacking the transgender community. I'm just not interested. I'm not interested because it's not a real issue. It's not happening, and most people don't even care about these sports. They couldn't name 5 women athletes. So, I mean, it's just like let's be honest. Like you don't care. Yeah, whatever you guys say, keep crying. Jesus. We got some serious dummies in the chat, don't we? We got some serious dummies in the chat. He had a point. He pivoted to women playing in men's or men playing in women's sports, which has nothing to do with what we're discussing. If you want to have an honest conversation, we most certainly can. I can give you multiple reasons why what I'm saying is true, right? Let me break this down really quick. I got to hold on to this caller really quick. Keeps power in check. As I stated previously, authoritarian systems almost always throughout history, you can look this up, start by trying to silence the critics. Those are the first people they typically go after. How do you expect to improve policy and pressure representatives into forcing change without criticism? Governments make mistakes, right? Bad laws, failed programs, intended or not, intended or unintended consequences. Criticism points that out. What's not working, so policies can be fixed and scrapped. But more importantly, this guy's trying to say that country equals government. Criticizing the government isn't hating your country. A government is a temporary system in place and a set of policies, temporary, to the future of this country, depending on the will of the people. The country is the people, the land, and the Constitution, which Donald Trump does not respect. Most importantly, the Constitution. Healthy criticism is actually a way of saying we deserve better. If you really want to have a conversation about it, it's going to consistently come back to the Constitution. It's always going to come back to the Constitution. And there's not a single individual in here that can tell me in good faith that Donald Trump respects the Constitution. You know it, and I know it. Don't be dishonest. All right, guys, I'm wrapping up for tonight. Enough is enough. Been on here for over 2 hours. I don't think we completed the gifting goal. Well, the gifting goal ends in 15 minutes, but we didn't complete it. Moth, thank you so, or Mouth South, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you, Mouth South. Appreciate you. All right, everybody. Appreciate you coming on. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Hope you have a wonderful night. Take care. If you guys did enjoy the live, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's right under my name there. You'll see it so you don't miss future lives. Make sure you guys hit the notification bell so you guys don't miss future lives either. Consider becoming a member of the channel, folks. It helps out the content. Consider supporting in one way or another. You don't have to support through Super Chat or memberships. You can support on Venmo and Cash App or in the link tree in my bio. But I would appreciate supporting. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Be well. Denim is really jealous in the chat of people supporting me. So make sure you support me on behalf of Denim. Denim is really mad about people supporting me. So, Denim, you would be so mad if you knew how many people support me, dude. You would be so mad if you knew that we have like 440 members on YouTube, paid members. You would be so mad if you knew that I'm on multiple platforms with hundreds of paid subscribers. You would be so mad. So I want you to go to bed tonight being extremely jealous about the fact that you can't do it because you're a doink. All right? And then take a picture of me and duct tape it to your ceiling. So the last thing you see before you go to bed tonight is me above you, because that will always be the case in life. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. By the way, if you love watching Trump supporters get dunked on, type W in the chat. If you love watching Trump supporters get dunked on, type W in the chat. Lisa, thank you so much. Appreciate you, Lisa. Appreciate you, Lisa. Nope, Mint's not. Thank you so much, Lisa. Appreciate you. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Wonderful night. Take care. I will see you tomorrow, probably on TikTok in the morning. That's where we'll be. Love you guys. Be well. Take care of yourselves. I will see you guys in the morning. Appreciate you. Be well, everybody. Take care. You can always tell who doesn't follow me for long when they like make statements in the chat that are just not true. You can tell who doesn't follow me on TikTok and stuff.